Hi there, my name is John Jones, but I live in North Wales and an awful lot of us are called John Jones, so I have a middle name and I have done a bit of writing, so I decided, I think my first book was John Garrett Jones. I thought that was a bit long-winded, so now I just use my middle name, and for writing I'm Garrett Jones. Now, this is my first video. It's a bit like teaching an old dog new tricks. I was 81 this month, and I am getting quite agile. Actually, I have a website for some. I've had that for some years, and that's what got me into this. I'll explain in a minute. But if you want to have a look at the website, you'll find it at www.garrettjones, all one word, .talk, all one word, .net. Now, the theme of the website is love, not war. And I've been looking around for places on the internet where I could perhaps inform people of the website and get them to have a look at it, particularly anything to do with the peace movement, a world without war, and this sort of thing. And I got onto YouTube because I saw that there was a video there, Imagine a World Without War by Ted Daly, and I saw that just yesterday actually, and I have already put a link to that video on my website because I think Ted Daly is absolutely magnificent. He says exactly the kind of thing I feel everybody ought to be saying. And I put a note to that effect, a comment, on his website, and then I found, I had entered my name, and I have got myself now subscribed to YouTube, and I notice I'm invited to upload videos, so I thought, right, well, we'll go ahead and I'll make a little video. I mustn't go on too long, but I'll just tell you about my first book related to this theme, and that was a thing called Ourtopia, and it was published in 2004. This is the book, and it's not utopia, because utopia is a rather dubious idea. It's a sort of never land, where everything is perfect in the author's eyes, but of course it doesn't exist and probably never will. This is not that sort of thing. This is talking about the kind of world we could have if we wanted it. And also the kind of world we jolly well had better have, that is, we better had wanted, because if not, it's very questionable whether we shall have a world at all before very long, the way we're going. Things are at present in a very, very parlous condition, because as you know, North Korea is making very ugly noises, sinking, presumably, warships of South Korea, and threatening to take further aggressive action. The US, which of course has many very tough memories of Korea, is aligning itself with South Korea in the struggle against the North. The Secretary General of the United Nations is himself a citizen of South Korea, so he is involved very personally in this threatening conflict. Does the North have a nuclear weapon? We are in very, very dangerous waters, and it's getting more dangerous every minute. and the world is awash with arms. Unless we are prepared to take very, very firm, concerted action to change things, we are in very, very big trouble. Anyway, I'll just tell you a little bit about this book, and then I'll shut up for the time being. One of the things that pleased me most about it was that almost as soon as it was written or published, I had an email from a scholar in Iran who was very keen to do a Persian translation of it. This was before the present Ahmadinejad regime, and here is his Persian version, which was published in Iran just shortly before the present regime took over. But I think maybe this has helped to give some ammunition to the opposition. And I think one of the things probably that had made this gentleman who wrote to me interested in providing a translation was this little passage, if I can just read it to you. A basic principle must be that of secular government. It is impossible to overemphasize the importance of this. Even the word secular could be misleading if it permitted a government to seek to impose an ideology like communism. No government anywhere in the world can be tied to any ideology, sacred or secular. The reason is quite simple. If groups of people have the corporate right of self-determination, individuals within the group have the right to decide whether or not they wish to espouse a given religion or ideology. If they decide they do not wish to become believers of one sort or another, they are free not to do that. And if they do want to do that, they must not do so in a way which deprives others of their freedom to choose. This means that while an individual who is a Muslim, Christian, communist, animist, Buddhist or atheist is not thereby debarred from government, the government itself must never be allowed to align itself with any one of those positions. A person seeking election must refrain from any reference to his or her ideological alignment. Once a person is elected to public office, it must be illegal to make any declaration of private belief, since such declarations are always partisan and divisive and have nothing to do with competence for office. You may have noticed I didn't include agnostic in the above list of ideologists. This is because there's an important difference between the atheist and the agnostic. The first believes there is no God, whilst the second simply doesn't know who or what the word God denotes. The agnostic neither affirms nor denies, but confesses ignorance. It's important to distinguish between a political theory and an ideology. If a politician says, "I believe in encouraging the accumulation of private wealth," and another says, "I believe in spreading wealth as evenly as possible," we have a pretty clear idea what we're being asked to choose between. If a politician says, "I am motivated by my Christian belief," that could mean almost anything, and in any case, quite irrelevant. Well, that's just a little sample of the book, and I think that is very pertinent in a situation like the Iranian. Incidentally, that book, Ourtopia, is now a Google book, so it's freely available for anyone who wants to read it. If you want an actual paper copy of it, I do have a few that are available from my website. Well, I'll shut up now, and I'll hope to come back and say a little bit more before too long.